What do you think of journalists or journalism as as an art form?
There's good filmmakers and bad filmmakers, and there's good journalists and there's bad journalists. But the thing I really have very little respect for is journalists who lie, who just make up a story because it fits what their agenda, and just make shit up.
Well, in your own work, be it fact or fiction, you in Miracle at St. Anna, I could see clearly you are a stickler for detail. Everything had to have a date. If they wore uniforms at a certain time, they wouldn't use this kind of. I remember on the set, for example, Hector, who was the guy who was playing Hector Negron, he would create lines, and you'd say cut. You see, a guy doesn't say that in 1944. He says,
"Yo, my man, what's happening?"
Right,
They're like,
right.
"What the fuck are you talking about?"
Right. My
It's
bad,
1944.
Right. But you're a stickler for that kind of detail in your work, and it's important for both journalists and filmmakers to understand that even though this was a piece of fiction that we did based on reality, there was nothing in the film that was not date specific. So do you think that journalists who aspire to become great journalists should take note of that, or should they? I mean, what can journalism do? The question is, what should young journalists do when they go about the process of becoming storytellers?
Number one, they got to learn their craft, and that's why I think that anybody that's here today, that you're in his class, you're really you're honored to be in his class, because James is one of the great writers today, and when you can learn from great professors, great teachers, it makes you better. And so often, and I'm not talking about NYU, I'm just saying in general, so often you might be learning from people who might be just teach from theory. You have a great writer here who's written screenplays, who's written novels, who's many years as a journalist. And so when you can learn from people who have done this shit, who will continue to do it, then it just puts you so much further advanced than people who giving you stuff based on theory. And you got to listen to what he says.
You hear that, my class?
Because a lot of look, I don't know your class, but don't sleep on them. Don't think like this is, well, I'm going to, I got this class, but if you don't know, you better know. You better recognize.
Well,
this is a master right here.
Well, it should be said also to your students that
they don't know.
Well, they might not know, but they should know that you only say things one time, and that's how it is in the world of opportunity. When Spike says, can you fix that? He expects it to be fixed. When he says, I'll be there at 6 o'clock, he's taking off his coat. He was usually the first one. I mean, always on his set, everything ran on